Commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus Hyundai, home of the Kona electric vehicle, an electric heart with an SUV soul. Test drive yours today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Now on primetime, the governor held a briefing updating her trip to New York and the nation's capital. Plus, a public hearing is underway regarding the changing of 2 village names up for review by the Commission on Chamorro Affairs. And this morning, Public Health provided an update on everything during their COVID-19 briefing.
Hafide, good evening, everyone. Guahusi Isaiah again, and thank you for tuning in. Governor Lilian Guerrero is back from her trip to New York City and to the nation's capital, where she was present for the historic signing of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. Here's more.
The governor says the purpose of her trip to New York was to share the Guam story with ratings agencies Moody's and Standard & Poor's.
Our goal was to have a improved grading. We're seeking for an investment grade from Moody's, and we're seeking for a higher level of grading from the S&P. What that means then and how that impacts our people and our island is that if we have a investment grade rating, we would be able to entice and attract more investors. Therefore, we are able to have more access to capital in the market. And as a result, we would decrease our interest rates and have millions of savings for our people and for our island so that we can use those savings to better improve our lives in all areas: public safety, education, health, utilities, infrastructure, all our daily needs to make sure we provide for our family and to improve our quality of life.
The governor and her fiscal team are hoping to get feedback in about 6 to 8 weeks. As for her trip to D.C., she says she was one of 10 governors invited to attend the signing ceremony. In total, Guam is expected to receive up to $193 million that will be used to improve roads, transportation, the airport and port, water infrastructure, cybersecurity, as well as broadband infrastructure. In terms of when Guam should anticipate receiving the funds, the governor says she will be heading off island later this month to get a better idea of when will that happen.
One of the things that I'm going to be going to in November 30th, 2 weeks from now, Isaiah, is a summit that the National Governors Association is hosting. And in that summit, the secretaries of these various agencies like Transportation, the Department of Interior, the Department of Commerce, and so forth, are going to be there presenting a detailed explanation of the infrastructure bill. And I expect during that period of time that we will be informed of what exactly the process would be and when we expect it.
As for the Build Back Better Act before Congress, the governor says she's been working to ensure funding for Guam's remain intact. As we reported, included in the BBB is $345 million for a new hospital. The governor clarified today that even if funding is secured in the measure, she will set aside the $300 million in ARP funds for the billion-dollar healthcare complex in the Eagles Field area in Manilao.
At this hour, Comisión Fino Chamorro is holding its final public hearing regarding its Guam Place Names project. The hearing is related to the 2 remaining village names that are up for the review by the commission. Standing by live at the Tamuning Community Center on what is sure to be heated discussion is our Tyler Matsanani. Good evening, Tyler.
Hafide, and good evening, everyone. I'm reporting to you live from the Tamuning Community Center, where a public hearing is about to take place for the Guam Place Names project. There are 3 village names that were up for review to have their names changed. The first one was Santa Rita, that has since been changed to Santa Rita Sumai, and the last 2 are Tamuning and Agania Heights. We spoke with Commission member Dr. Robert Underwood earlier, who said the name change For Tamuning, a recommendation is Tamuning Tumhan. And for Agana Heights, we have Agana Heights Tutuhan. Joining me now are Village Mayors Tamuning Mayor Louise Rivera and Agana Heights Mayor Paul McDonald. Can you guys please tell us what has been the overall voice of the residents? Are they in favor of a name change? Are they not in favor?
For many of our residents here in Tamuning Tumon, it has been to not make any changes, leave it alone because of everything that has a lot of legal documents in regards to the names of the villages that are already there. It's gonna cause a lot of problems, with their documents, and then of course. With changing out signs and letterheads and things like that. And then being that we have the only public hospital that's been here in Tamuning, many people's birth certificates as well, state Tamuning, Guam. And so, just having that changed, people will, they're not ready for it, and they've been opposed to it. So I haven't heard any, that have really wanted to change it. I mean, they were worried about it being changed to like a Gwen or another name. But, we're explaining to them about Tumon being changed to Tumhom, to reflect the spelling as it says in the law. So we'll see how people react tonight.
And then you, Mayor McDonald?
Yes, Agana Heights is really unique because Agana Heights had always been Agana Heights. Tutuhan is a part of Agana Heights. For example, Mr. Pete Salas, who is one of our elders in Agana Heights, is over 90 years old. He came up with a real story saying that Mayor Hafana para Tatulaika, Agana Heights ni an mafaisinu tatomonu paasan. And Paasan is just one part of Agana Heights. And it's not part of Tutuhan. Tutuhan is another part of Agana Heights. And from the time I was born, as a matter of fact, all our family, 12 siblings were born in Agana Heights. My wife is from Agana Heights. She had actually lived in Tutuhan, but I live in Paasan. Or Fonti. So it's just going to be confusing. We, when we go to the States and we meet our residents, they ask us, where are you from? Oh, I am from Paasan, or I am from Fonti, Agana Heights.
Okay, so obviously there is identity with the villages. We will see what happens with tonight. The recommendations will be carried over to the legislature. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matsanani.
Tyler Matsanani, thank you so much for that live report. And we'll have more on this public hearing tomorrow on Primetime. At today's Public Health COVID-19 press briefing, DPHSS gave the latest on the CDC team on Guam, the decline in COVID cases, vaccinations for kids 5 and older, and the easing of restrictions. KUAM's Daniel Perez reports.
According to territorial epidemiologist Dr. Ann Pobutsky, the positivity rate has gone down and everything is on the decrease.
The number of cases per day continues to decrease. We're now below 40 cases per day. We'd like that to get even smaller, like we were back in March and April, where it was like 5 to 10 cases a day. The CAR score is below 5, and the 7-day rolling average of cases, again, has gone down to less than 40 per day. All age groups are showing continued decreases along with the cases. The one group that's still a little high is that 0 to 11 age group because they're the last group to be vaccinated.
Dr. Pobutsky added that the island-wide hospital COVID count has dropped in the last couple of weeks, along with less people in the ICU and deaths. As for the CDC team looking into the island's dead-on-arrival cases,
we are providing our data to them on the deaths and the cases, and especially the dead on arrivals, and they are conducting interviews with the families of people who were dead on arrival. And I believe they're also going to be requesting hospital data. So basically they're in a data gathering phase, And that's going to take a while.
Public Health also confirmed that as of yesterday, 1,281 children have received the Pfizer pediatric vaccine, and there are just over 4,500 doses left. Interim Chief Medical Officer Dr. Bob Leon Guerrero.
Please, if you qualify, please get your booster shot. If you qualify. And then those that have children 5 to 11 years old, please get your children vaccinated. It will help tremendously in us avoiding surges and get us back to where we want to be with less restrictions.
As for the easing of restrictions,
I understand that there might be some lifting of some restrictions, but I don't know that for sure. My guess is that though that they're still going to require that they have at least one dose of the vaccine. But the actual details, I don't really know what that's going to be.
There will be a vaccination clinic for children sponsored by the American Medical Center on Saturday, November 20th at the FD Phoenix Center from 4 to 7 p.m. and is open to the public. To schedule an appointment, go to guamcovid.com. Daniel Perez reporting for Guam's News Network.
CNMI officially released updates to its entry protocol effective tomorrow. KUAM's Tomas Manglotnia has more.
After nearly 2 years of its strict travel entry protocol, major changes will take place in the NMI on Friday. According to the CNMI Office of the Governor, effective November 19, all incoming domestic travelers should provide contact information through the mandatory health declaration form, and quarantine will be based on the vaccination status of both the traveler and their household. The updated travel protocol includes travelers who are fully vaccinated and verified to be staying in a fully vaccinated household or lodging area are not required to quarantine, but will be tested for COVID-19 between 3 to 5 days of their stay, which will be based on their departure date. If the traveler is staying less than 5 days, their contacts will also be required to test for COVID-19. Fully vaccinated travelers who are not residing in a fully vaccinated household or lodging area must undergo a 5-day quarantine in a government facility and be tested after, which also applies to travelers residing with children ineligible for a COVID-19 vaccine. Unvaccinated travelers are still required to quarantine in a government facility for 7 days and test on their last day. Any traveler who tests positive for COVID-19 will be put in isolation at a government facility for 10 days. Travelers will have to upload their list of contacts and proof of vaccination in the health declaration form. If they are vaccinated outside of the CNMI, a secondary verification is needed. Tomas Manglotnia for KUAM News on Saipan.
The CNMI last night reported 9 more people tested positive for COVID-19 on November 16 from surveillance testing. There are now 51 active cases. 117 new cases have been identified since October 28th. The total cases count in the CNMI since March of last year is 408. The Guam Police Department is investigating the burglary that occurred at Macy's here on Guam. According to acting police spokesperson Berlin Sevilla, patrol officers from the Dededo precinct responded to the department store at around 8 o'clock this morning. The suspect or suspects gained entry through the front door. According to Sevilla, it appears the store alarms were not triggered, and the department store staff is trying to determine why they were not activated. The suspect or suspects got away with an undetermined amount of cash. No one has been arrested at this time. If you have any information about the burglary at Macy's, you're urged to call GPD at 671-472-8911. A jogger was attacked at the Dededo Sports Complex. According to GPD, the incident occurred on Wednesday around 5 p.m. The victim was jogging when a man confronted him. The suspect tried to grab his cell phone, but there was a struggle. The victim's hand was injured, and the suspect ran off toward the pipeline area. The suspect is described as 5'6" to 5'7" in height, medium build, dark complexion, wearing possibly a shirt or hat over his head, a black long sleeve hoodie, and shorts. If you have any information, call 671-472-8911. Joyner Sked and Rudy Kanata appeared for a status hearing before Judge Vernon Perez in Superior Court. During today's hearing, a motion was discussed on a blood and DNA sample from Sked and Kanata. A buccal swab was also suggested in order to get faster results before trial. The next hearing will be on November 23rd at 9 a.m. The two were charged for the murder of former UMATIC Mayor Daniel Sanchez in April of this year. Department of Revenue and Taxation Acting Director Marie Lazama confirmed the agency has processed more than 19,000 advanced child tax credit payments totaling $12.5 million for the month of November. The payments are all being made through paper checks. Lazama confirms the agency is not conducting direct deposits at this time as they work to finalize corrections with applications that were submitted with erroneous bank account information. Recipients should anticipate receiving their ACTC payments in the mail within 2 weeks. The AI Health Public Awareness Campaign, introduced in partnership with KUAM, continues this week, and we want to hear from you. On Friday, we will hold a virtual town hall to answer your questions and concerns about diabetes. Post your questions on our social media pages. Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Hafaday, this is Congressman San Nicolas. If you are a small business, you may be interested in a federal program called the State Small Business Credit Initiative. This program can provide federal funds to match equity investments into your company or help you get lower interest rates at local banks. To find out more on how this program can help your small business, please contact your Guam Congressional Office at 475-6453 or at michael.sannicolas@mail.house.gov.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the Office of Congressman Michael F.Q. San Nicolas.
We value relationships because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
we are in it for the long run. So you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you. Federal employees and annuitants enroll today.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back to Your News Leader. We continue our special week-long series profiling diabetes on our island and how new techniques are changing how the disease is treated. Tonight, KUAM's Jason Solis introduces you to two physicians who are pushing the envelope with high tech, making shots a thing of the past.
A Healthier You, Making Diabetes History on Guam.
Presented in partnership with Calvo Select Care and Paradise Fitness Center.
Many of us who have either had to directly receive or help administer the many forms of testing for glucose levels or giving diabetes medication well know about the difficulty, inconvenience, and inaccuracies of taking readings, largely dependent on the dreaded needle. Whether doing finger pricks to draw blood or giving insulin shots, it's a process that for many can be scary, uncomfortable, and in the modern day can seem, quite frankly, crude. But better days are ahead thanks to revolutionary innovations pioneered by forward-thinking minds in medical technology. Dr. David Klonoff is known as the founding father of modern diabetes treatment and has applied the Internet of Things model to measuring glucose levels.
Blood glucose testing with pricking the finger, getting a drop of blood, is going to be replaced by continuous glucose monitoring. And this is a really amazing technology with a tiny wire that's like a hair that goes under the skin. It sits there and it's attached to a tiny ball that's outside the skin, and the wire measures glucose continuously every minute, every 5 minutes, and the ball sends a message to a smartphone, which sends the information to the cloud.
Dr. Francisco Pasquel, himself an accomplished physician, has contributed substantially in the diagnosis and treatment of the disease using data at internet scale.
The ability to monitor remotely those glucose levels for patients. Those patients, for example, in the ICU, we're monitoring them outside of the room, and that data can go to the cloud and we can get reports. So it's moving quickly, and now we're thinking about population health management, where we can have dashboards of patients that are uncontrolled. How do we see them? How do we identify those at the highest risks?
These big thinkers see immeasurable value in incorporating samples from Guam patients, enriching the data sets with diversity from people in this part of the world.
We're looking at a data set of people from Guam, and it's very possible that the best treatments for Guam are not the same as the best treatments somewhere else.
And by using cutting-edge artificial intelligence based on massive data sets, decisions about detecting diabetes at an early level.
Having these conversations about equity, making sure that there's no bias in those algorithms that are telling us how to treat patients. So finding the ways so that we have unbiased algorithms that identify the patients at the highest risk with the right medication, with the appropriate treatment, I think that's where we should go.
Still, says Dr. Klonoff, the fundamentals of good health practices remain the driving force of reversing the effects of diabetes.
The very best treatments for diabetes involve having a healthy lifestyle. I am interested in technology, but what people eat and how much they exercise and whether they take their medicine is even more important than any technology in the world.
A healthier you, making diabetes history on Guam.
Presented in partnership with Calvo Select Care and Paradise Fitness Center.
And remember to stream, watch, or listen to the link tomorrow for a special interactive town hall where diabetes experts will respond to your questions live. That's tomorrow at 9 a.m. on KUAM's Facebook page, KUAM TV 11, and The Breeze 93.9 FM. And job seekers will have an opportunity to speak with employers from the Guam Department of Education this Saturday. GDOE will be hosting a job fair on Saturday, November 20th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Ukudu High School. The department is looking to fill various positions like school aides, on-call substitute teachers, Community Program Aide 1, Community Program Aide 2, and teachers. Erica Cruz, the Deputy Superintendent of Operations for GDOE, invites qualified candidates to attend the hiring event.
If anybody is interested in applying for a position with the Department of Education, we encourage you to come on out to our job fair. And if you want to come prepared, you can go to our website and download the application and bring it with you. And we look forward to seeing as many people as possible.
Applications can be downloaded from the department's website at gdoe.net. Guam's stray animal issue isn't something that will be solved overnight. Thankfully, new paws are joining in the effort to address it. KUAM's Tyler Matanani reports.
Some good news that will get tails wagging. Come January, former Guam resident Dr. Mariana Turner will return to the island to join the effort to tackle Guam's stray animal problem. Department of Agriculture Director Chelsea Munya-Brett.
She is very skilled and experienced with high quality, high volume spay-neuter procedures, so she can do a large number of dogs or cats, just strays within a prescribed amount of time.
2 animal control officers also recently joined the team to help address the more than 60,000 strays.
They are beginning to undergo training that we're setting up with the courts and also with GAIN to do I think it's the Humane Society training.
So far, no applications have been submitted for animal control supervisor. DOAG is now tapping on village mayors to help identify residents that they think may be able to help fill the role. Additionally, Munya-Brett says they've spoken with the Attorney General's office and the General Services Agency on how they can transmit the appropriated money to GAIN for the spay and neuter project.
The Attorney General's office advised us to convert the contract into an MOA, citing that it should have been an MOA when it was done a few decades ago. So we've already drafted the MOA and are now routing it for review.
It's been a rough journey, but island residents are determined to not only drastically reduce the stray population, but help them find forever homes. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
Over 900 calls were made into the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center's 24/7 crisis hotline for the month of October. Although there is a high volume of phone calls, it's actually slightly lower than the numbers reported in September, which was about some 1,028 calls. GBHWC Director Therese Areola attributes the little dip to lower COVID-19 cases within the community. She provided KUAM News with a status report.
For the month of October, we just rounded off and looked at the numbers. We're slightly lower at 917. So our crisis hotline professionals are still very busy. Major concerns, of course, haven't changed a bit. Depression, anxiety, loneliness, a lot of COVID-related concerns.
Areola encourages those needing someone to talk to should call the 24/7 crisis hotline at 671-647-8833, 671-647-8833. As we reported, GBHWC would receive an estimated 30 calls per month pre-COVID. The Guam Chamber of Commerce elected 7 new members to its board of directors for 2022. They are First Hawaiian Bank Executive Vice President Edward Ontalon, who also was a top vote getter, Vantage Advertising President Tay O, PHR Ken Micronesia's Senior Advisor Milton Morinaga, Guam Fast Foods Vice President and General Manager Frank Cruz, Cabras Marine Corporation and Seabridge Incorporated CFO William Kalori, Assurance Brokers Vice President and General Manager David Silva III, and Glimpses of Guam publisher Marine Maritita were elected as alternate directors. The 7-day voting period for the new board set a record as 80% of chamber members cast the ballot. With Giving Tuesday right around the corner, one of KUM CareForce community partners, APL, will be hosting a donation drive on Saturday to benefit some of our island's veterans. KUM's Jonah Gancharfris has more.
It's an opportunity for the community to help many of the veterans on island get essential items. Carl Pangilinan, Director of Business and Marketing Development for APL, explains how they selected I Hananao, I Magahit, I Inina to be the beneficiary of this donation drive. The nonprofit is comprised of veterans from all branches of the military.
The reason we targeted them is, just with what their mission is. Some of them kind of fly under the radar, and some causes don't really get the attention we think that that they rightfully need and deserve.
Those wishing to help out in APL's mission, all you have to do is show up on Saturday, where representatives will be set up.
Here's a list of items that are available here at Kochtiles. You can purchase them yourself, or else just donate the money. They'll collect it and then purchase those same items off the list. So it's very tactical in that they're able to generate donations and get the goods that they actually need.
Pangilinan says the drive is just one of 3 that APL plans to hold, with the next 2 set to take place in early 2022.
We're targeting assisting foster kids, and then after that, and sometime in February, we want to do something to help the elderly here on Guam.
Again, if you would like to assist, or if you're a veteran who would like to know more information regarding HMI, stop by Kochtiles in Tamuning on Saturday, November 20th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jonah Gancharfris.
Sports is up next with Dave Delgado. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your 4th meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Want a better look at your spending? With MoneyMap, you can automatically create budgets and manage where your money is going. Know when you have a green light, or when it's time to slow down. Maybe cook more meals at home this week. Set your goals. Track your progress and find your way to exactly where you want to be with MoneyMap from the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. It all starts with yes.
My name is Samantha Taitano. I'm actually the executive director of a nonprofit. So just people who are looking for a different pathway that's going to lead to a secure job, but isn't necessarily thought of as the traditional path. There's a ton of opportunities on this island for the trades, lots of jobs available, and people are always hiring for them. And you can, if you become a skilled and reliable worker, you can definitely move up in the construction industry here.
There will come a time when people talk about how Hyundai makes the best car on the road. Now seems about right. The technologically advanced Hyundai Elantra is the 2021 North American Car of the Year.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Adrian Cabradilla, Trike Esports Smash head coach, Daryl Dianzan, technician and Smash player. Let's talk about the esports program there at UOG. Since getting it kicked off, what is the feedback been with the student athletes?
When I entered the esports program, I was really shocked when I heard about the mental coaching and the physical coaching. I was really happy about it because I felt like I really wanted to grow as a person, and I needed help when it comes to growing. And this program has really helped me out. I think I've got to become a better person, a healthier person at that, and it's really helping me grow and able to and also allowing me to have fun doing these things, having fun with my friends, building relationships, and making sure that as a person I become a better leader and grow as an individual that can hopefully in the future lead the Guam's esports team.
This program really emphasizes the fact that you really need to have good work ethic, basically everything you need: work ethic, just good attitude, a good discipline in regards to anything you do. Because if you notice, if you have a good discipline, good work ethic, it really shows whenever you're in either, not even in esports, either the physical fitness side, the mental side, or even when whatever you're doing. So everything you do in this program really translates to the bigger picture on how you do your career outside of esports and whatever you really want to pursue in life. So that's really what we want to try to achieve in this program.
I want to make a correction and put some respect on Dave Bloss's name. Thanks for helping out with this year's Boys Beach Volleyball Championship game. Switching over to programming news now, Monday, November 22nd at 4 in the morning on KUAM TV 11, NFL on CBS, the Miami Dolphins at New York Jets. Switch the channel over to KUAM TV 8 at 11:20 in the morning, NBC Sunday Night Football, Pittsburgh Steelers at Los Angeles Chargers.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
You are everything that matters to me, and I promise to do whatever it takes to keep you healthy, to be comfortable, and to be free. I love you. As long as we're together, I'll always make sure that home will always be our best place to breathe.
At the Vocal Box, we understand that everyone is different, which is why our meal plans are designed to fit different lifestyles. Whether you need easy and convenient meals because you're on the front lines, breaking personal records, or just trying to live a healthier lifestyle, we have a meal plan for you. Our meals are made with the most fresh, all-natural ingredients that are always grain, gluten, and refined sugar-free. Spend less time cooking and more time living. Call us at 922-BOCA, visit our website, or stop by our cafe in Hagåtña to start your meal subscription today. The Vocal Box, real nutrition made daily.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of the birthday shoutouts from the Coldstone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy birthday on Thursday, November 18th to Mary, whose birthday shoutout says, Viva cumpleaños Barahagu. Happy birthday to you, Mary. And Caitlin Thompson, happy sweet 16. Caitlin coming from Mom, Nyana, and Dre, who all say, we love you 3000. So to Mary and Caitlin, we hope the both of you have a fantastic day. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and we wish the both of you the best day ever.
That's going to do it for us here on Primetime this Thursday evening. Guahusi Isaiah Uggan. Thank you for watching and have a safe evening.
Local Music Mashup, sponsored by Burger King. BK Your Way.
Day, and we are back with another jam-packed show. You're watching Local Music Mashup, being brought to you by Burger King. BK Your Way. All right, so let's get the show started. This one, we featured him on Culture Club, and we wanted to throw it on here because it's such an amazing original. It's called Underneath, and here is your artist, Cooley.